Jones of Nelson started Pixie Town, and actually they started in the 1930s. He made his first set for the Nelson department store, and it proved so popular that there were requests made for the other department stores. So they were made for department stores in New Zealand and overseas. By the 1950s he had a company and a factory. 6 craftsmen worked carving the pixies, and a seamstress was employed to make the dresses. So they were very popular and in all the magic caves and department stores through the 50s, 60s. And then in the 70s, well, actually 62, Fred Jones, who started it all, passed away. So another person bought them, Fred O'Connell, and he toured them around until the late 70s when the oil crisis started, and I guess things were a bit more difficult to transport. So DIC bought 3 sets of the Pixie Town sets, and one came to Dunedin, and they were in the DIC until 1991 when they closed. And then the lovely Otago Settlers Association bought a set of the pixies when they were up at auction. They bought them to give to Toitu, or the Otago Settlers Museum, so that we could all enjoy them here at Toitu. And they are very popular here. We had, I think, nearly 30,000 people came through Pixie Town in the month that we had it on last year, so they're one of our highlights of the year. It does take a bit of time to set them up. We have some people who come in, especially Stephen Kilroy comes and helps us set up the pixies. He makes sure that all the motors are working properly. I think there are 2 motors on every set, and we don't have the same ones out every year. That's part of caring and maintaining for them. Caring and maintaining them. So he checks the motors and makes sure that everything is working. A lot of care is taken because they are something that we know a lot of people in Dunedin remember fondly from their childhood. People sometimes ask us how much they cost, and my answer is always going to be that they're priceless. You can't put a price on or a value easily on people's childhood memories, so it's our job here to look after them so that great-grandparents can continue coming in, bringing their grandchildren in to see these pixies. They are interesting. I mean, I'm still quite reasonably new to Dunedin, and I thought that they would, when I first heard about them, that they might be quite Disney-like, quite sweet and smiling, but they're not like that at all. Kestrel was my favourite last year. That's having a rest this year, and we've got the marketplace and the bankers and bakers, and if you come and have a look for them, there's a lovely lady rolling the bread and someone else shaking milkshakes down at the bakers and bankers set, so there's plenty to see.